Hey everyone, AmberFrmThVault here. Welcome back to more Suzerain. We're going to go ahead and just jump right back in, so I'll see you guys back in just a sec. Wait, is it Suzerain? Okay. Political violence needs to stop. Stop. He had it coming. Oh my god, I would never say that. Radical? Sordland just lost a great writer. For what? I kind of want to say that because I hate when people call views radical. It's only radical in your estimation. It's not radical in my estimation. Plus, if we call something radical, I mean, America's concept was radical. The abolition of slavery was radical. It doesn't mean that those things are bad just because they're radical, but we seem to use that word all the time to like assign to things that, oh, we can't possibly do that. But meanwhile, we've done tons of radical things. Women now have the vote. We were once called radical for wanting to vote. So I hate that word. Maybe also because people call me a radical. I don't know. Radical Sordland just lost a great writer. For what? It is unfortunate, but it was likely that an incident would happen. Don't really like that idea. Okay. Leela's handed over the report and pointed at a highlighted section in the document. The investigation revealed a very troubling fact. The funding sources for the Red Youth have a clear link to United Cortana. Okay, aka Cortana. What does this mean? Yeah, what does it mean? What do you mean? To the government? To a group in United Cortana? What do you mean? That the communist superpower is meddling in our affairs. Pfft, okay, I'm sure we're meddling in other people's. Several Red Youth members with ties to United Cortana have been detained, and the information extracted from them points to a preparation for a communist uprising in Sordland. Lucien. It isn't unusual for the superpowers to influence other nations, but I think this case is a little far-fetched. The left lacks popular support in Sordland. Naya eagerly lifted her hand. I motioned for her to speak. I went over the report in detail. It would be wrong to jump to conclusions about a clear foreign interference yet. United Cortana has humanitarian and cultural ties with many countries, including Sordland. I don't want to jump to conclusions immediately. We shouldn't create a crisis with them. I agree. Okay. Leelis. Nearly 3 decades ago, they funded General Reichard and tried to establish a communist dictatorship in our country. If it was not for Colonel Sol, we would have seen the real crisis. She took a sip from her glass of water and continued. Okay, yeah, but Colonel Sol also, was a dictator of his own. So, our police chief, Carl Griesner, has linked the funding channel to the United Cortana consulate in Benfi. Where's Benfi? Benfi? Ah, okay. Got it. Alright. As we all know, the enemies of Sordland are many, but we also have threats inside the country. I really hate the idea of, we have enemies. Not saying that we don't have enemies, but it just seems like it's... I don't know. Our country has always had issues. This is part of the job. As the government, we have all the power to deal with any threat, or we need to remain vigilant. I'm going to say our country's always had issues. It's part of our job. Naya, if we give up essential freedoms to purchase temporary security, we deserve neither freedoms nor security. That's all I have to say. TSA. I think I should explain that, because right now I sound like Alex Jones. But I think I'm going to leave it there. NSA. That's what I'm going to say. Lucien, this is debatable, but yes, we know that more security and surveillance caused to this country under President Sol. No, it's not debatable. It's not debatable that if you give up certain freedoms to feel more quote-unquote secure, like security theater, that you're not actually more secure, but at the same time, you've now given the government the opportunity to listen to all your phone conversations. Hello. Sorry. I need to stop thinking about the Patriot Act. Alright, Leelis, let's not forget that President Sol, God bless him, brought stability after a long period of bloodshed and chaos, but moving on. Leelis! I liked you before, but now I feel like you are sucking this guy's cock. Calm down. Our highest internal threat comes from the estimated 200,000 strong Brutish Freedom Front, led by the imprisoned Delwyn Arg. They are a banned political organization, now a militant force that is trying to incite racial violence. Now, this was a question I had. Why were they banned? I remember asking that before. Because it seems weird to me to have a political party that's banned. That's not Nazis. But if they're Nazis, then I can see why they're banned. Although it seems, I don't know, I'm not 100% sure. I'm trying to read through this here. Ism incident, armed clashes. Okay, well, who's Doolin Arg? Argy? Arg? Okay, political prisoner. See, I don't like that idea. During his youth, member of the Republican Youth and supported the revolution against the monarchy. Okay. Okay, he wanted to fight the military coup under the General Ricard, but was denied entry due to his ethnicity. This prompted him to return to Bergia to organize the Brutish populace. Huh. So wait a minute. Is this party mostly... Are Brutish people like a people? I didn't realize that they might be an actual like group. I thought that they were... It was just like a thing, you know, like, oh, we picked a funny word, I don't know, or it meant something in a different language. Okay. This is only getting harder. It's going to get even harder because there's just so much to read here. God, anytime someone is told he can't do something because of their ethnicity, it just kind of makes you be like, what? Like, why? I don't know if I should actually follow that person. Or not follow that person, I mean. Okay. Well, we are gonna continue on, I guess. Sorry, I'm trying to put all this in my head. Alright, they make a lot of noise but have little substance. A barking dog doesn't bite. That is actually not true. Are they supported by our Brutish citizens? Are they cooperating with any Brutish political organizations? I want to know if the citizens support them. Lelis, to some extent, luckily, they couldn't attract a wide audience of Bloods, but they could potentially attract thousands if anti-Brutish sentiment spreads in Sordland again. Lelis pointed to page 3 in the report. Our intelligence intercepted 2 crates filled with weapons close to Rumberg border. Those were filled with military-grade AKs. We expect that more have been smuggled in since a group of Bloods were caught with these guns at the checkpoint not far away. Lucian. Rumberg has been acting aggressively in the region for a long time. I am not surprised that they would attempt to weaponize the Brutish people against us. This is worrying, very worrying. Okay, real quick. So, Brutish. So here's Rumberg. Are Brutish people are part of Sordland, though. So basically, Sordland has a diverse population whose needs are not being met and they're not being recognized, and there's a lot of racism. That's what you're telling me. And right now, we have banned the political party that... We've banned their political party? This seems very... That's what seems worrying to me, that we're not listening to these people. Can we make any direct correlations to blame Rumberg? Is it expected that Rumberg would undermine us? We need to keep level-headed. I'm gonna go with we need to keep level-headed with Rumberg. I don't know if they're looking for reasons to take action, but I do think we should be careful. Okay. Leeless, they will play dirty while we play nice. If it is a battle, we will lose. Naya, this is grave news, but we must be careful not to stoke the fires of anti-Blutish sentiment. What is the second most important threat? Leeless, it is gang violence that is threatening the Nargis and Angland regions. Two prominent organized crime families are at war, and the potential for bloodshed is real. Which two crime families? Yes, that's what I want to know. Leeless, one is known as the Coronelli and the other as the Skinner Cartel. They used to be allies until a recent disagreement. Both are active in the cities of Narble and Esterd. Okay, so let's go to the Coronelli, one of the most notorious criminal organizations in Sordland. Its roots are dating back to the 1880s. So we have the mob now. Cool. Illegal drug and organ trafficking. What? Organ trafficking. Holy shit. Okay, black market arms trade. Okay. Narble and Esterd. They were playing with fire. I want them gone for good. Leeless, I trust you to handle them. They are insignificant, not worth our attention. The mob is always worth your attention. Not that I think we handled the mob very well here in the United States at all, but we did kind of get rid of them. They still exist, obviously, but not in the strength that they did before. It has a lot more to do with corruption of politics. I don't really want Leeless to deal with them herself, just because that seems like something I would be interested in learning about. I don't know. I think I'm going to say they're playing with fire. I want them gone for good, but I'm afraid that that's going to, like, turn it into some kind of military states. So I guess I have to give it to Leeless. I'm doing my best, sir. Leeless sighed deeply. I shall be honest with you, with our current capabilities, we may not be able to prevent the further arming of separatists while maintaining order in Bergia, Nargis, and Angland. If law enforcement budget isn't increased, I can't be fully responsible for what happens. Our police units are spread thin as it is. In light of this information, I might increase the law enforcement budget. You do your job, whatever happens. Don't come to me with excuses. Oh my god. That's not a good choice either way. Ugh. Why don't we have a talk about what they actually need? Ugh. Like, okay. It's I might. Okay, I might. We will rid our country from separatists and violent thugs if you do so. I wish you'd stop using the word thugs, too. Naya, I wish you would stop using the word thugs, Leeless. The real problem is corruption. Yes! Which is fueling gang violence, and is very likely the reason why these weapons were smuggled in. A higher budget could help us end that. Valid points. Corruption is the root of evil after all. Your ministry must tackle the issues with persistence, Miss Morgna. These threats seem more direct than a few bribes. No, I think it's corruption. Leeless, we can look into corruption once the weapons have been found and the gangs have been beaten. They'll just keep coming in. Naya, just like previous administrations, kicking the can down the road. This is what's destroying our institutions. Naya, yes, you and me. Leeless and Naya were openly scowling at each other. Leeless turned back to her notes. Well, this concludes the topics for the internal portion. Lucien, thank you for the updates. Mrs. Graff, Mrs. Morgna. Thank you for the overview. Naya, have a good day. Leeless, until next time. The two ministers left the room. We took a short break before continuing to the second part. Upon invitation, Iosef Lencia, along with 3 high-ranking officials from the Ministry of Defense, walked into the room. One of the men was none other than General Kruger, the chief of the armed forces. Yes, this guy who looks creepy to me. The art in this game is beautiful, but that guy creeps me out. Okay. Iosif made his way towards the table while the others stood by the door. Mr. President, I'm going to say welcome. I brought General Kruger with me due to the escalations on our borders. Kruger stepped forward and saluted. I just saluted. No one would know that, though. I don't know why I did it. He had a strong jaw with sharp cheekbones. His tall stature, uniform and medals, combined with his deep and intense stare, made him look threatening. I don't know, I think he looks like a grandpa who wants to suck your blood. He was in his 70s, yet he had a bulky body that was the result of his commando training. Not only was he the second most decorated officer in Sordland, he was also the longest serving. General Kruger? Mr. President, it is an honor. Iosif tapped his foot impatiently. He seemed uneasy with the presence of another high-ranking officer in the room. Lucien, gentlemen, thanks for coming to this significant gathering. Let's begin. So they take their seats at the table while the rest of the officers stood by the door. Mr. President, the situation at the western and northern borders towards Rumberg is very tense. We are observing deployments of divisions closer to our border. Rumberg has been acting increasingly expansionist in the past decades and also interfered in Agnolia, but now they have turned their sights on us. Okay. So what is your current strategy? Alright, patrolling close to the borders with our border force and keeping Army Reserve divisions near. Lucien, it seems like they want to increase the pressure both externally and internally. Kruger. Mr. President, if I may. Go on. The picture is becoming clearer. The latest information from the interior about the weapons caches, and now there is an active military buildup close to our borders. The entire situation was analyzed by our general staff, and our prediction is a future territorial incursion by Rumberg. Okay. I don't know how I feel about the general staff. I don't know how I feel about Rumberg. I know that they're a kingdom, right? Yeah, okay. Huh. We don't want to live under no kingdoms. Also, we don't know that for sure. I feel like we're guessing a lot. Well, I don't have complete trust in the general staff. I don't like any of these answers. I want a number 4 that says, prove it. Prove it! I'm going to say the threat is exaggerated. Maybe you'll prove it. Oh, with all due respect, I think you are underestimating what we could face. I require an increase in the military budget to enlist more soldiers. Only then we can stand strong against our enemies. The escalated armed forces will hold them at bay. Iosif, Velkin is right. We do need an increase in the military budget, although we don't see eye to eye in exactly how to spend that budget. That much we agree on. Lucien, I have my concerns about Rumberg too. We need strong allies to withstand such a superior power. They are our nemesis. Iosif, that is an understatement. Times are changing and war is coming, Mr. President, whether we like it or not. We must be prepared, because war never changes. During the election, you said nothing about focusing on our military. I ask you to reconsider and to increase the military budget. The future and safety of Sordland is in your hands. As you said, times change, Iosif. We will see. A smile brought a glimmer of hope on his face. Kruger, our forces will crumble under a decrease, and Rumberg will be much more compelled to exploit our weaknesses. Our country hasn't fallen to any invading force for 200 years, and can't let that happen, Mr. President. Lucien, we could find regional allies like Valgsland or Lesbia to deter Rumberg. There are several options on the table. I like that idea, actually. Rumberg wouldn't attack a nation allied with a superpower. That is true. I don't think we need to be able to defend ourselves. I disagree with that. I think it's more important to have friends. Make new friends, but keep the old. Okay, I'm gonna say that. I like that one. Yosef, one shudders at the sacrifices they would require us to make. Kruger, yes, but what is difference between losing your independence to one or the other? Everyone fell silent when a soldier entered the room and let Lencia know that a call had come through from the ministry. Ooh. Excuse me, Mr. President. He left the room to answer. A few minutes later, he entered again. His expression had changed. Mr. President, there has been Rumbergian military activity close to the Narbel border. I just spoke with the local commander. Valken, we should go to the ministry and get further updates from our branches. Kruger, understood. Raising military readiness is the first call of action. If there is truly an extraordinary attempt, we will relay it to you immediately. And relay further orders, Mr. President. Well, this is not what we needed. Jeez. Okay. Make sure they know that we are observant and ready. Go and show them the might of the Swordish armed forces. Your service is appreciated, gentlemen. Remain calm. Make sure not to escalate further. No one wants a war. That's what I'm saying. We will exercise utmost caution, Mr. President. Hail Sordland! Hail! Ooh, I don't know if I like hail. Feels weird. Romberg was already testing us, and the reports from the interior indicate interference inside our borders. Communists, nationalists, Blutish rebels, Romberg expansionism. What was next? Sordland had always been a key piece in the chessboard of the global rivalry between Arcasia and United Contana. But in the recent years, there was no such aggression from Romberg. Not at these levels, at least. All it takes is one tiny spark to start the flames of war. The phone rang. Romberg had decided to close their consulate in Lockhaven. Oh! Huh. Well, that's a little more serious. If they're closing down their console, maybe we are going to have more problems than we think. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching me play Suzerain. If you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to all the YouTube things. If you'd like to check out more of my videos, there should be 2 on the screen there over on the right side. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, go ahead and click on that picture of my big dumb face on the left. Click that, click on the bell icon if you'd like to be notified every time I post a brand new video. And those people right there in the middle, those are my patrons over on Patreon. Those are the people who really make this channel what it is, and I would appreciate if you guys would drop them a follow over on Twitter. Those are all their Twitter handles, or maybe if you would just say thank you to them, because that's the only reason I can really have this channel is because of these fantastic people. So thank you so much to that. If you're interested in learning more about the Patreon yourself and getting your own exclusive content, like my entire playthrough of Skyrim, you can go ahead and check that out. It is in the lower left-hand corner in that box. We're going to go ahead and get out of here, guys, but I will see you in the next one.